Steve Rogers, a small and skinny kid, constantly endures bullying during World War II. Despite his physical limitations and recent orphanhood, he aspires to join the military and help in the war effort. However, due to his frailty and health issues, the army rejects his enlistment, deeming him a liability. Nonetheless, Steve respects those who fight for their country and desires to do the same. Steve despises bullies and often stands up to them, even though it typically results in him being overpowered. His loyal friend Bucky Barnes supports and defends him, but Bucky is leaving for war soon, leaving Steve alone. Determined to pursue his dreams, Steve and Bucky attend a science expo, where they encounter two attractive girls who show interest in Bucky, disregarding Steve due to his physical stature of 5 feet 3. At the expo, a man named Howard Stark presents his failed invention of a flying car, which still impresses the audience. Seizing the opportunity when Bucky is distracted, Steve sneaks away to another attempt at enlisting in the army. Bucky finds him and warns him against it, knowing the army's previous rejections. Nevertheless, Steve insists, driven by his sense of duty to protect others. There's this random doctor who happens to eavesdrop on their conversation and gets all curious about it. He questions Steve about his persistent attempts to join the army and his determination to fight Germans. Steve clarifies that he doesn't seek to kill anyone but simply despises bullies. Feeling touched by Steve's determination, the doctor decides to take a risk and lets him join the military. At the same time, there's this German dude named Johann Schmidt who's all about making super destructive weapons using this powerful blue cube called the Tesseract. Schmidt, the leader of Hydra, an organization aiming to dominate the world, harnesses the Tesseract's energy to achieve his sinister goals. While Steve undergoes intensive training, the doctor develops a serum capable of transforming an individual into a super soldier, granting immense strength, power, and endurance. Despite skepticism from the colonel, Agent Peggy Carter recognizes Steve's determination and good-heartedness, advocating for him to receive the serum. The doctor shares her sentiment, emphasizing that Steve's small physique belies his immense heart. On the day of the procedure, Peggy accompanies Steve to a secret facility hidden beneath an antique store. Medical professionals prepare to administer the serum, and Steve bravely endures the injections despite excruciating pain. As the procedure concludes, Steve emerges from the machine transformed into a physically superior specimen, shocking everyone present. The doctor's last words emphasize the importance of remaining a good man. Steve wastes no time in embracing his newfound abilities. When some jerk snatches a vial of the serum and shoots the doctor, Steve, who's all juiced up with super speed and strength, goes after him like a lightning bolt. With astonishing agility, he confronts the thief, who takes his own life after uttering the words, "Hail Hydra." Steve learns about Hydra, an organization that aims to win the war and establish global dominance. Schmidt, disenchanted with the German soldiers who oppose his plans, eliminates them and continues his quest for power. Despite skepticism from the colonel, Steve takes on the mantle of Captain America, using his fame as a performer dressed in red, white, and blue to boost morale. He entertains crowds across the country, but he yearns for a more active role in the war effort. Peggy attends one of his shows, and Steve learns that Bucky was among the soldiers captured during a failed mission against Hydra. Driven by his unwavering loyalty to his friend, Steve decides to rescue Bucky, even if it means going against the colonel's orders. Peggy and Howard aid him by flying him to a Hydra base. Steve parachutes down and infiltrates the facility undetected, successfully locating the prisoners but finding Bucky absent. The prisoners seize the opportunity to revolt, overwhelming the Hydra guards and taking control of the base. Schmidt, realizing his imminent defeat, activates the base's self-destruct mechanism, intending to escape with Zola, his loyal assistant. Steve finally finds Bucky, and they both prepare to leave the facility. As the base crumbles, Steve encounters Schmidt and engages in a fierce fight. Schmidt's own imperfect use of the super serum reveals his disfigured appearance. Escaping to the roof, Schmidt flees in an aircraft, leaving Steve and Bucky trapped in the collapsing structure. They survive, and the colonel and Peggy, initially believing Steve to be dead, are overjoyed when he returns with the surviving soldiers from the failed regiment. Earning the colonel's respect, Steve assembles a team to dismantle Hydra. He becomes a celebrated hero and gains attention from women, causing jealousy in Peggy. Teaming up with Howard, Steve creates a fresh Captain America outfit and scores a shield made of vibranium, a super tough metal that's like indestructible. Together with his team, he embarks on missions to eliminate Hydra bases scattered throughout the country. During a mission to hijack a Hydra train and capture Zola, Steve confronts numerous challenges but emerges victorious. However, tragedy strikes when a metal man targets Bucky and causes him to fall to his death. Despite the loss, Steve remains determined and captures Zola. During the interrogation, Zola discloses Schmidt's plan to use weapons of mass destruction to obliterate major cities worldwide. While Steve mourns the loss of his friend, Peggy offers solace. Determined to stop Schmidt and end Hydra's threat, Steve heads to the final Hydra base hidden in the Alps. Riding his motorcycle, he engages in battles, destroying soldiers and a tank. Crashing his bike into the base's front door, he enters the facility, ready for his confrontation with Schmidt. Despite his best efforts, Steve finds himself outnumbered and captured by Schmidt's soldiers. They take him to Schmidt, who mercilessly beats him. However, just as Schmidt is about to terminate Captain America, a group of soldiers bursts through the window to rescue him. Steve's team has arrived, and Schmidt cowardly flees the scene. Determined to stop Hydra, Steve chases after him. While all the chaos unfolds, the colonel gives the green light to his soldiers to storm the Hydra base, triggering a wild shootout with bullets zipping in every direction. Schmidt, seeing his grand scheme crumbling, scrambles to flee aboard his awesome super jet, packing the mighty Tesseract. Steve does his best to catch up, but he's struggling to keep pace. Luckily, just in the nick of time, the colonel and Peggy roll in and offer Steve a lift, saving the day. Using their ride, they successfully close in on Schmidt's plane just before it has a chance to lift off. Steve plants a swift smooch on Peggy before leaping onto the wheel of the aircraft, ensuring a safe landing inside. Once aboard, Steve stumbles upon a whole bunch of bombs, each tagged with the name of a different city. It's crystal clear that if Schmidt isn't put to a halt, a whole bunch of innocent lives are going down the drain. Steve makes his way to the cockpit where he crosses paths with the Red Skull, and they start throwing punches like there's no tomorrow. Their intense brawl nearly brings the whole plane crashing down, but then Schmidt switches on the autopilot to save their hides. Feeling all confident, he takes shots at Steve, gloating about his upcoming triumph. But our hero, being the nimble dude he is, evades the bullets and hurls his shield right at the Red Skull, nailing him square in the face and accidentally hitting the Tesseract in the process. That cube starts acting up, burning through Schmidt's hand like a hot potato. The Tesseract's insane power gets the best of him as he gets sucked into a freaking wormhole, vanishing into thin air, leaving behind only the cube. Even though the Red Skull is out of the picture, Steve's got a new problem on his hands, a bunch of bombs that are about to go kaboom. Time's running out, and he comes to the tough realization that he's gotta take one for the team. Steve hops on the radio and fills Peggy in on the whole deal, and man, she's crushed. Turns out she was really hoping for more than just that messy smooch they had earlier. He selflessly steers the plane straight into the icy Arctic, sacrificing himself to save the whole dang world. So, World War II finally wraps up, and you can imagine the party that's going down. But here's the kicker, nobody can find Captain America's body or that crashed plane. It's like they vanished into thin air. Fast forward 66 years, and guess what? They stumble upon Steve, frozen solid but still kickin' it. He wakes up in a New York hospital with a nurse all smiles and kindness. Steve's got that gut feeling that things ain't right. He tries to make a run for it, only to find out that the whole dang hospital and the world outside are nothing but a big ol' fake. Everything around him is straight up mind-blowing, 'cause it's all 2011. Then, out of nowhere, this dude with an eye patch shows up and drops a bombshell on Steve. Turns out, our boy has been snoozing for nearly 70 freaking years. The movie ends with Steve coming to terms with the harsh reality that his old life is gone, and a new era has begun. Thanks for joining me on this thrilling adventure through time and superheroes. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-boggling movie moments. But before you go, let's take a moment to appreciate Captain America's journey. Talk about being frozen in time. I mean, waking up after 70 years and realizing you've missed out on all the fashion trends and internet memes, ouch. That's one epic wake-up call. So, as we bid farewell to our unfrozen hero, let's raise a shield and salute Captain America for his courage, patriotism, and ability to rock that spandex suit. We hope he catches up on all the missed episodes of his favorite TV shows and learns how to use a smartphone without accidentally causing international incidents. Until next time, folks. Remember, don't mess with powerful cubes or make out in time capsules unless you're willing to pay the frosty price. Stay heroic, stay hilarious, and I'll catch you in the next video.